People often ask me how I fly, or how I'm able to outturn them, etc., so I decided to make a video going through my thoughts and decisions in a number of different dogfights. This first fight here is a pretty typical wipeout fight. It shows how you can stay on a wipeout's tail without it ever getting a shot on you. Here I dive on the wipeout from high altitude and get right behind it. Normally you want to kill things in the first pass, but I'm not able to do that here. So I stay on the wipeout's tail for a little while, even though I know I can't outturn it. That's because the longer the wipeout has to turn, the more energy it loses. So after I've stayed on it for a little while, I fly up, and I know it's lost enough energy that it can't follow me in the vertical. After I fly up for a little while, I turn around and dive on the wipeout again. Unfortunately, he kills my friend, but I'm able to kill him a few seconds later. The first thing you need to decide when you attack a wipeout is if you don't kill it in the first pass, do you stay and try to fight the wipeout, or do you keep running? Usually what you do depends on how fast the wipeout is going. If the wipeout is going slow, you can simply pitch up, the wipeout won't be able to follow you, you turn around and you kill it. If the wipeout is going fast, you have to keep running. In this case, I decide the wipeout's going pretty fast, so I decide to keep running. If I had pitched up there, there's a good chance the wipeout would have been able to follow me in the vertical and shoot me down. I decide to run it out a little ways before I start to gain altitude. What I'm doing here is I'm just adding distance, so when I decide to climb, the wipeout won't be able to shoot me. I did get reset once, but I had a backup. And then everyone's like, you should have said you built it. At this point here, I'm climbing and dodging at the same time. The dodging is pretty important, otherwise the wipeout simply shoots the little circle and shoots you down. What I'm doing is I'm waiting for the wipeout to stall or have to turn around, and then I'm going to dive on it. In this case, I actually dive a little bit too early, or I don't climb high enough because I'm not able to get a shot on the wipeout with the first pass there. But that's okay, I simply climb back up and turn back around. Sometimes wipeouts, when you dive on them like this, they'll try to turn around and take you in a head-on. If they do that, you can just pitch up and wait for them to stall or not be able to come up anymore, and then you get on their tail. In this case, he doesn't try to do that, so I'm able to get on his tail immediately. And right here, he turns around and I'm able to secure the kill. This is an interesting fight because I make some good and bad decisions. The guy I'm fighting here also does something really smart. So I'm chasing him off the map, and right about here he decides to turn around. Now I do what I normally do here. I try to kill him in the first pass if I can, and then I immediately turn around afterwards. But what happens is, because he's just turned around and lost a lot of speed, his turn radius is much smaller, and he gets a shot on me here. Now, I probably would have died here if he hadn't stalled out. What happens here is he, I guess, holds Z a little too long, or the brake button, and he stalls, and once an EF runs in his stall, there's not a lot you can do. And because of that, I'm able to get into a much better position than I would have otherwise been in. And it turns into a sustained turn fight. And I do what I normally do here. I try to keep my speed up and keep my nose below the horizon, and because of that, I'm able to slowly gain on him. And right here he turns, and I'm able to get the kill. This is later on in the same flight. I see a wipeout flying near salt flats, and I decide to attack it. I'm able to kill it in the first pass, which is always what you want to do. There's also a second wipeout, and I decide, because I wouldn't really be able to run away here very safely, I decide to try and fly up and make it stall. I fly in a corkscrew pattern to try to dodge the wipeout's shots, and I get hit by a missile. Other than that, though, everything works pretty well. The wipeout can't follow me anymore, and I dive, and I'm able to get a good shot on it, and I shoot it down. Another useful thing to know how to do is kill AA tanks. What you want to do is you want to approach from behind cover and then pop up over a hill at the very last moment. You don't want the AA tank to be able to see you at any point before you start shooting it. It might be tempting to fly up a little bit to get a view of it and see if it's still where it says it is on the map, but that's a bad idea because the AA tank will see you coming. I like to use the AP rockets on the Nephron, but the cannon works just as well. Feel free to let me know if you like this type of video and you think I should make more of them. If there's enough interest in this video, I might make another more in-depth video about how to fly the Nephron and King of the Hill in the future. I also have more highlight type videos planned.
Oh, sorry. Broke trap money.
Broke money, not broke trap.
Who said they were in Gorgon? Hey, I was. I got blown up, but Doug, if you want a better gun, this guy had an 8K over here.
Bro, how, like, when did you start getting into the new?
Did
I know you've been playing King of the Hill since the beginning, and you took a year or two break. But, like, how long you been flying, like, solely as
So
your
I
pilot,
noticed
solely
how
new?
That was me. I died, then I got
with the crosshair.
Wait, what did you do?
I noticed